Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Good Show, powered by Asus here at The Good Studio. I'm James. Joining me at the desk of news, what it's now being called, is Semmler. How's it going, Semmler?
Good, man. How you doing?
We're on time.
We are.
Holy shit.
Chat is exploding right now.
Holy
I think
crap.
this is the first.
It is. We're on time. Everyone is sat down. Awesome little edit there, by the way, McCormick, with the victory kittens over the Good Show symbol. Nicely done. So we've also got, of course, our eSport legends guests here. We've got two of them. Obviously, just to introduce them, we've got Newman, who actually makes his way down here by bus and walks because he works for Team Dignitas and understands the importance of saving money. And then we've got Hellspawn, who ordered a limo to turn up here because he's DreamHack, and that's just what they do these days. So welcome, guys. How's it going?
Things are going good. No, but I had some vacation, 2 days vacation. That felt nice after Esports SM, the Swedish Championship this weekend. So feels nice to be here. Not so.
Tired?
I don't know. Not so tired, but maybe I'm losing it already. I don't know.
Yeah, the weather's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
It always helps.
Yep, there's certainly no fluff with our guests, unlike Live on Free. And if you just take a look at Hellspawn, actually, there's barely no hair as well. So we've completely gone no fluff with him. So I'm sure he'll be saying anything he wants on the show. All right, yeah, so we've got some big topics, of course, for the show. We're going to see how much we've improved the show from last show. But, of course, some of the big topics that we will be going into is a world champion of Quake has now gone solo. Rumors of a top non-Korean Starcraft 2 player up for grabs. A couple of names that we'll probably throw out a little bit later. Also, StarLadder Season 1 finished its first series, which was a big success. Team Liquid announced TSL 4, and of course there is some rather large investment rumors in esports. Those are just some of the big topics, but before we get to those, let's take a look at what happened last week with Semmler the Riot. Do you like that
Epic pose. I love that, man. I was like ready for it. But yeah, guys, we're going to go ahead and cover real quick the results of the past week. And we're going to start off with StarCraft 2, and Hellspawn just brought it up. Of course, Thorzane continuing his reign as King of the North in the Esports SM Championships. The qualifiers here in Stockholm, he took first place and will be qualified for the finals at DreamHack Summer. Next up is, of course, the National ESL Iron Lady Tournament. And I know there's been a lot of talk about Scarlet lately, but she went ahead and took it once again and went through quite a pack of chicks to do it. Fem, FXKT, Donut, Ihan Polaris, ST Aphrodite, and Quantic Flow all fell to the Canadian Princess. And no, she did a fantastic job. I watched a bit of the tournament. It was truly impressive and amazing stuff. Also, next is BLC. Now, this ties into StarLadder. Of course, this past weekend were the StarLadder finals for Season 1. It was a LAN finals in Kiev, and there was a massive upset, at least in the BLC community, with Mr. Dan Dictory, Mr. Dan Dictory, taking the final. And that was a $3,500 prize pool. They beat Razer, meanwhile, in Finland to do it. Now, Razer, meanwhile, in Finland were the favorites. They just recently got sponsored by Razer for this tournament, and they were expected to take it. So Mr. Dan Dictory beating them 3-0, closing it out in the finals like that was truly amazing to watch. And last but not least, we have Dota 2, which also wrapped up the StarLadder Season 1 finals, and it was Na'Vi who came in top, beating Moscow 5 in the end, and they walked away with $6,000 in prize money.
Yeah, not bad for them. I actually got a picture somewhere of Dendi. I'll just show you this, right? Because I'll just show you this picture, right, on my screen. Because Dendi... This is Dendi. Look. Everyone else is very happy they kind of won some money. But Dendi's like, I just don't give a fuck. He's like, I won $250,000 earlier in the year. What's $6,000? I mean, seriously. And the funny thing is, actually, I spoke to Dendi when I went to Cyber Arena last time. And I was asking him stuff about, like, tournaments. And I remember he turned to me and just said, like, I don't care really about money now. And I went, oh, really? Like, how much have you got? And he said, $250,000. I said, oh, really? That's pretty good. That's what I earn in half a year. And he looked really surprised at me. Like, I was obviously, like, joking with him. I just wanted to shit him up, really. Yeah, so congratulations to the winners of last week and some of the big tournaments. the Dota 2 one we actually watched live.
Yeah.
Didn't finish until 5 o'clock in the morning. But
What was up with that?
yeah, well, actually, just to mention it now, we're going to mention it later, but it's because they had World of Tanks at Star Ladder. And basically, World of Tanks, you know, you're in a fucking tank, that game's going to last for ages. I mean, they don't move around very fast. So that finished really late, but congratulations to all those winners. So, of course, let's move in then to some topics of interest that have happened, some announcements, not things that have happened last week or, you know, things are coming up next week, but just some announcements that have happened. First off, in Quake, this is quite interesting. We mentioned it just in the preview that Cypher has left Serious Gaming. This is quite a broad this interest of news, not just because Cypher, former world champion in the Quake series, Quake Live, has left, but no one really knows what's going on with Serious Gaming. We have a post on ES Reality, if we bring up my screen, where we can actually see Cypher's left. There are actually some talks in here that Cypher's teammate, Avec, has left as well. But if we go to the Serious Gaming website, we can actually see that that is currently the Serious Gaming website. It's not very good right now, admittedly, but unless you want to know what time it is in Beijing, Seoul, PST, or CET, it's quite useful. So you can always visit serious-gaming.com. But basically, Cypher is, you know, teamless. So we think, but in reality, we also have to remind ourselves that Razer are always building something called Team Razer, which I think is quite a weird project in esports, where basically Razer brand the people that they sponsor under Team Razer. But this time, because Cypher's now been taken out of a organization, I personally think Razer are probably paying him just to be Cypher Razer, because he's also doing some guides. But what do you guys think about this, Serious Gaming? Because they were big in Warcraft 3. You know, they had quite a good business model. Obviously, Bass, if people don't know Bass, the manager of Serious Gaming, he's a complete psychopath, basically. He ran a restaurant, and he used the money from the restaurant to start the team. And whenever I criticized his organization and how he ran it, he went psycho at me, which was, you know, wonderful. But what are your guys' thoughts in the corner about this bit of news?
So
Not
Bass going psycho
He's
at me.
probably gonna love you after this, then, I guess.
Yeah, well, it's a pretty...
I like Bass a lot. He's always nice to me, at least.
Yeah, I mean, Serious Gaming has always been one of the, or they used to be one of the bigger teams in Europe.
Yeah.
With a good, like I said, Warcraft 3 squad, good Quake players, Cypher and Avec always. Lately, I kind of feels like they've been dropping off a bit. I know they had Razer as a sponsor since like forever. I'm guessing that both Cypher and Avec are probably going to move over to Razer, Team Razer.
Yeah, I have to ask James, is it true that Bass was taking care of Cypher at some tournaments where Sam wasn't around, Sam Matthews from Fnatic? So Cypher moved to Serious Gaming and brought Razer with them. So Fnatic lost Razer and later on got SteelSeries.
No.
That's the story I heard, at least.
Well, when I was working in Fnatic, I told Sam to drop Razer because they were being really annoying and just contact SteelSeries. He did. And they started working with SteelSeries. Razer were very demanding back then in 2005-06 when I was in Fnatic. Cypher, when he was in Fnatic, there was one tournament where basically I was there to do video recording for a Zoom HD American TV company. So they paid for my flights and hotels. So I was like, I'm solely here for this. Sam Matthews was there for the team, and Joe Miller was also there, but he was there because he missed on a couple of events and they wanted Joe Miller there as like a holiday. So basically what happened was I was looking after myself in my vicinity. Sam Matthews was responsible for the team and Joe Miller was responsible just for being Joe Miller, I guess. And then basically, yeah, not good. And then basically, Cypher was turning up, but there were some girls, because it's ESWC, there's lots of girl gamers, and they said, let's go have a drink under the Eiffel Tower. So Sam Matthews had a choice between getting Cypher and getting drunk with girls under the Eiffel Tower. He chose getting drunk with girls under the Eiffel Tower. Cypher turned up at the airport with no money, didn't know where to go. Ended up making his way somewhere near the hotel where he ate McDonald's on a roundabout, just sat on the roundabout eating McDonald's in the middle of the road. And then Bass came and got him and took him in and then was like, come join Serious Gaming. So that was their biggest pickup, thanks to, I personally say Sam Matthews. Sorry, I can say what the fuck I want, but it wasn't Joe Miller or me. But, in reality, I should have helped Sam out, but I wasn't going to help a guy out that wanted just to get drunk under the Eiffel Tower. That seemed like a waste of my efforts.
A funny story, at least.
Yeah, interesting. But yeah, they got two big players, Serious Gaming, Avic and Cypher. Now Serious Gaming, no one really knows what's happened. There's no statements from Bass. The website's down. But we can presume that Cypher and Avic are probably going to be under the Team Razor brand, because they will still probably support them. But we're actually doing a Quake Live tournament. We haven't been able to get Cypher confirmed. We don't think he's able to play. So we're not really sure how active he is in Quake. But still, he is a world champion. He's up for grabs. So let's see what happens.
Actually, with Cypher, I would say that Rafa most likely has been the best player throughout Quake Live history. But I think that, and Cooler most likely has been the more popular player. But I think Cypher, for me, he's number one. He's always impressed me so much, and when he has been on fire, he has been better than anyone else at any time. So for me, Cypher is such an amazing player, and I just hope we can see more Cypher magic, because he's plays. It's magic.
He plays like no one else.
No,
he's absolutely
unpredictable, so clutch, so precise, so awesome. He has a cool attitude too. So.
And what do you guys think happened to Serious Gaming? Because I have to say that Razer were their biggest sponsor. So if Razer stopped putting in money, their only sponsor.
Yeah.
So do you think that it was Razer stopped putting in money, or do you think Serious Gaming let down Razer in terms of reports, exposure? Because Razer obviously is still interested in Cypher, because Cypher's actually signed up to the Razer program, which is like training, where Cypher's going to teach you how to play Quake.
I'm guessing it's a combination of both, actually. Probably Serious Gaming dropping off a lot of their reach or their awareness in the community, and then Razer wants to drop the money as well.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing Bass probably didn't want to go on with the team, and then Razer basically took them in.
All right.
Yeah.
That's my guess, at least.
They had some good StarCraft 2 players, actually, but they were always in the shadow. Like, they just came out, play one tournament or two tournaments every, quarter or half year, so they weren't as active as they should have been, I think. And I don't know what happened with them either. Like Servant and who else? Some German player was good also.
Yeah, same thing. Their lack of money, so they couldn't send them anywhere.
Yeah, maybe that was the reason. But
yeah,
and with the website dead, I'm guessing the team is dead as well. So.
Yeah. So there we go. Such is esports, really. Teams can come out super fast, super strong. Teams that have been established for a long time can just close down. We had Made in Brazil. Closed down as well, a very famous team over in Brazil, obviously. But before we get into more eSport news, we just want to give you guys a heads up. Obviously, this is powered by Asus, as that came up perfectly as I said it. We rehearsed that. On the Asus Facebook page, you actually still have a chance to win one of their laptops, the G55VW. All you need to do is head over to facebook.com/ROG Nordic. ROG is Republic of Gamers. Click this when you've liked the page and logged in. Once you click this, there will be a little competition for you. We had it last week. It's still ongoing. This laptop's pretty bad. Semmler, Jesus, don't interrupt me. This laptop's pretty badass. Too much whiskey. So it's got an i7 in it, etc. And basically, you just got to answer, what does Asus Republic of Gamers mean to you? And post your comments below. And, they'll be picking people to win. There is a second place as well. I'm not sure if there's a third place winner, but just do it anyway, because then it makes us look good.
I wonder what the end game for this Republic is. I wonder.
That's deep shit, man.
End game, it's like it's marketing. In esports, it's a brand.
Well,
I was trying to make a joke, Republic of Gamers. I like it.
All right. By the way, you just openly admit I was trying to make a joke.
Didn't work.
I was trying.
Yeah.
Good job for trying.
Thanks.
Okay, so more news in. That's pretty much it for Quake Live. But of course, in Bloodline Champions, quite big news came out for the Bloodline Champions community. They weren't sure if it was going to happen, but Bloodline Champions has been announced to be at DreamHack, and they've put up $10,000 of their own money this time, not Twitch TV, which is fantastic. This also follows the good news for Bloodline Champions that StarLadder, that did feature Bloodline Champions, got a record-breaking stream numbers of 6.5k viewers, which is way above anyone's ever really seen for Bloodline Champions. So, you know, looking quite good for them, but I actually have the page up, actually. Let's just show it. You can see the horrible DreamHack website. Oh, God, look how crap it is, Hellspawn. What's this? All these colors. But yeah, it's obviously going to be a DreamHack Summer. One of the... We're still classed as a MOBA game, but you can see the prize purse breakdown. But there are going to be qualifiers, so if you're interested in watching them or just interested in participating in them, they're on every Sunday. One's already finished. Next one's going to be this coming Sunday. And, of course, you know, that's really good for Bloodline Champions, really. Not much to say on it. Don't know how they got into DreamHack, Hellspawn. You must have been really nice to them.
Most likely. Now, I want to say that I'm impressed by StarLadder. I think I said it last week, but after seeing this, okay, they had some problems, but still the attention that they get and the viewing numbers, and I like Cybersports Arena a lot. I've been there, and it's really a cool venue.
Yeah.
It's good for esports. I think that we should have more of those. Then we all will be good. But great to see like 6,500 concurrent viewers. I don't know what that means. I don't like the statistics, but of that measure, it's a bad measure, I think. But still, it shows that a lot of people cares.
Yeah, mainly the reason it got 6.5k viewers was because in Russia, the Russian publisher is basically showing Funcom, the European publisher, how to publish a game. So they've done great in Russia. So hopefully, you know, prize model's good. In-game tournaments actually have good prizes. Yes. So, you know, and they've really taken care of it.
One thing to add on top of that that's going on in Russia is the Asus Open, which is a new cup that is coming out, and BLC will be a part of that as well.
Yeah.
So
we mentioned
not only
that
do they have StarLadder Season 2, but they have the Asus Open to look forward to. In the European scene, unfortunately, there's only really DreamHack Summer, and that was just like a big surprise.
Yeah. Semmler, do we have any updates? Is it one team, two teams, all Western teams, only Russians?
No.
Special
there's a final
special
the
tactics.
Asus Open is special tactics. Yeah, it's still I believe the last qualifier before the event. European teams will have a chance to qualify.
Okay, cool.
Right. So that's when they'll get their window.
When is that? Do you have it in your head?
I don't have it in my head, which is bad.
Some weeks.
It's not like we're on a news show, is it?
A month or so.
It's not like we're on an informative show.
Cool.
I don't know either.
I just can't remember.
All right. So next in the news, this is actually just a bit more general news rather than game specific, but it does relate to some of the games because it will affect them. We talked about a rather large investment in esports, and apparently it is rumored that there has been a $1 million US, I do believe, investment towards the team of, I hope I can say it properly, Eclipsia. Yeah. So this does affect Dota 2, as we've just put in the overlay there, because under this, Quantic Gaming have actually moved over the Dota 2 team to Eclipsia, which is Mania, Playmate, Miguel, Angel, and Rice. But let's just talk about that as a general piece of news. $1 million US to Eclipsia as an investment in esports. It's rumored. Some people have heard differently. What have you heard, Newman?
I've heard 1 million as well. We should probably mention that it's for the entire team and organization.
Not just Dota 2, but it has affected already some of the decisions in terms of people have left Quantic to go.
I mean, definitely, yeah. It's like it's getting 1 million investment. It's a recipe for quick success, basically. I think the question for Eclipsia, or the problem for Eclipsia, is going to be how to basically start getting their own money as well, and start running a team, and start just generating income.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, $1 million is a lot of money, but you can burn through that really fast as well.
Hello, MLG.
But I think that actually you have to spend and spread money quite fast and good in some regards, that you have to use the money. You can't just be very selective. You have to do something big with it. Otherwise, it's not worth putting the money into it. But we have seen some success, like Arbaleth. He invested a lot of money through like 10 years, Age of Empires and so on. Then he did invest in Navi and I think also Cybersports Arena, but I'm not sure. But I mean, Navi is an extremely strong organization at the moment, and they are not getting any money from Arbalest. They got in new sponsors, and they could get stability and live from that. So I think that, from my perspective, Quantic was about the same, some kind of investors or something, and we have seen a lot of other investors that have been really bad ones that didn't turn out good.
I mean, Quantic had investment as well. I don't think they had $1 million though, but
no.
Yeah, like you said, it's about spending the money, but also spending it wisely. It's really easy spending money in esports, but it's hard to spend it wisely.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Now, I don't know much about the management in Eclipse.
Neither does anyone. I mean, there's no info on their website at all.
Really?
I just know they have. Doesn't they have a good, strong Starcraft 2 lineup?
Scarlet.
Can you put up on like Wikipedia maybe? Because I think that I've seen some. I know they have quite a lot of Frenchmen. I think, like Sarans and Eel and a lot of others.
They've got Velmu from Finland.
Yeah, they got Velmu.
Yeah. I mean, they're all good European players, but they're not world class at all. So it's. With an investment like that, they could bring really, really big players. But
yeah, but like you say, getting a long-lasting situation when the money ain't coming from the investors is the challenge for them, for sure.
What website am I on?
That's also something that I'm kind of impressed still by the big organizations like SK, Fnatic, Dignitas, and so on, that they have
thanks.
Through all the years losing sponsors, getting new sponsors, losing like the whole rosters of some of the great teams that they have had, but it still keep going.
Okay,
that's really hard. So
we can see the lineup then. 12 members. Obviously, Scarlet's in there, as you know, featured in the news earlier. And then we got Desro, who's currently in Korea. I'm not really into these. I have no idea who they all are. There's Artist. Well, he looks good.
Artist. There's also Wellmoon, who made a good showing at Assembly, Winter 2012.
But it still doesn't pop like the EG lineup, and it doesn't pop like the Team Liquid lineup in terms of names. And the other thing is to mention that the 1 million rumored investment, as we can call it until anybody gets a confirmation on Eclipse here, would be very similar to the rumored investment of what EG got from Monster. Which is also rumored to be around about the $1 million mark. So EG did very well with that $1 million. They took away Huck from Team Liquid, which I think was one of the smartest things they could do, because Team Liquid would have looked particularly strong across all continents. But losing Huck gave EG that North American stronghold, you know, in terms of North American and Canadian, stronghold to their sponsors. So it will be interesting to see what Eclipse's moves are, really.
Well, yeah, but it's important to remember, investors' money and sponsors' money are two different things, though.
Yes, they are.
There
was a sponsorship from Monster.
Really important to remember that.
Yeah, it's also really important to remember that before they got the investment from Monster, if it was $1 million, I don't know, but
yeah, it was a sponsor though.
Yeah. Before they got the money, they already had a couple of different sponsors.
Yes,
and lots of different sponsors. They were already running a good team.
Yeah.
So
what's interesting to me is though that the news item of this has been, let's say, described as they are acquiring Quantic in some part, like getting the Dota 2 team. But why only the Dota 2 team and not Sas and Naniwa and the other players in the Starcraft 2 team? It's something that's, I don't know, maybe it's just that the journalists that have come up with this news has described it in a way that could be that they have bought Quantic, because that's what I'm reading between the lines actually, but I don't know, maybe it's just that they acquired the Dota 2 team and nothing more, but...
Are you talking about the organization?
Yeah.
I know they didn't buy the organization.
All right.
And apparently Eclipse here are setting up a team house in Korea as well. So, you know, they're obviously looking to do something good, but of course it is worth mentioning the point that you mentioned earlier before we move on this topic is that this is investment, and investments will look for return. They will look for a sustainable business model. So it's really up to take that $1 million and actually pull in some of those big sponsors. Unlike EG, if it is that 1 million was rumored to be, you know, correct with Monster, that's a sponsorship where they give, you know, ROI through the marketing and, you know, what basically
$1 million, that's a fucking crazy number.
Yeah, that is.
That's insane.
Well,
it's easy.
I think by far EG are the richest team right now in esports, and I think that Monster are probably quadrupled their sponsorship income. I don't, so let's just leave it at that.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. So we'll keep an eye on Eclipse here.
And if you want to sponsor me, I'm up.
Yeah, and if
$1 million, no problem. I can do a lot.
Look at this. Look at Hellspawn. Just look at that. That is an athlete right there that needs Monster Energy drink to perform at his maximum on a day-to-day basis.
It doesn't have to be Monster.
Anybody.
If you got the money, I'm here.
Victoria's Secrets, perhaps.
What was that new fighting sponsor?
Brazzers.
Brazzers. All right, yeah.
That's for Semmler, though, I think.
Let's not go into that because I can't talk about it until they announce that they sponsor me. True. So I can't do anything about that. All right then. So just to carry on with that, obviously we just mentioned that the Quantic Dota team is leaving towards go to play with Eclipsia. Mania, Playmate, Miguel, Angel, and Rice. There's an interview with Playmate on Gosu Gamers, so you can go check it out if you so wish. I do believe that I actually have that here. Playmate, our long-term goal is to simply win. Yep. Well said, Playmate. Trans is busy doing stuff.
That actually they kicked out Link, and they brought in Playmate from. He played in Meet Your Makers, right, together with Mania and those others. So they made a swap, and I think that Link was kind of hyped, at least with streaming numbers and a lot of fans.
Yeah,
he was how to say, he played a hard carry style, which maybe didn't benefit the team all the time because he was farming too much, maybe. I mean, it's so important to have a good team dynamic in all kind of team games, and I think Dota is even more extreme than maybe COD or Counter-Strike or something else.
Yeah, especially for Dota and MOBA games. I mean, I think looking at FPSs in team games, they've come so much further than MOBAs, I think, in team play.
Yeah, but also that you can have those kind of players that just go with the individual part in the FPS game, I think. Yeah. Like a Toxic, for example. He just shoots and kills, and then he can be compensated with having other players that are good with the team part. Not saying that he's bad, but in the team part, but the other players are stronger in that field. But in Dota, I don't think that you can have a guy who is only playing on his skill and not on team play.
Yeah, we could get into that. I mean, there's Loda, for example. There's Loda, for example, as one of those players who could potentially and who did carry his team for quite some time. But yeah, no, I see where you're going.
Yeah, but he's the team leader, so of course he should know about the team play, I guess.
Yeah, and what his role is. Okay, and of course, just to mention once again, within the Dota 2 section, Navi beats M5 over at Star Ladder. We mentioned a little bit earlier, we even talked about it earlier, so we won't go into it now. No one's really surprised to see Navi win a tournament in Dota 2. They're still absolutely up there, but also CLG, a really good run for... through the tournament. Unfortunately, didn't make it to the grand finals, but they did play, really well. So it'll be interesting to see how they do. As if, of course, a lot of our viewers are Swedish, so you can check out that on starladder.tv for some of the results.
It kind of feels like all of the Dota teams they're establishing themselves now in the top 5.
Well,
I agree.
I think that Dendy's definitely the best player in the world, but I don't think he's getting better. I think people are catching him up. So I don't think that Navi will end up having that easy, not easy, of course, but guaranteed 1 million Dota 2, prize pool at Gamescom when Valve throw the invitational. So I think by the time it gets around there, I mean, people like CLG, M5, Eclipsia, there's so many to mention. Even Infused Gaming, are doing good as well.
Complexity and absolutely.
So there's so much. Dota 2 is really interesting to watch right now. But of course, you can check out the VODs on Twitch TV for Star Ladder. I think it is just Twitch TV /Star Ladder.
James,
TV.
a question: is it good or bad for Dota 2 scene that Navi is dominating like this?
I think it's good because it builds just tension until they lose. And you know what I mean? It's like it's never a problem when we saw Toxic win all the WSVGs in Quake 4. Because there was one time where he got toppled. and then you knew he was beatable, and then you worried when he was in the finals, even versus Fatality, which was ridiculous. But yeah, anyway, so with all that news that we've gone through, we're only halfway through some of the interesting points of the week. As I keep talking to you guys, I should talk at the camera. Hello, camera. So what we do is we're going to go to a quick advertisement break, but when we come back, we'll be going into Starcraft 2, also talking a little bit about League of Legends, some really interesting news coming out with, if you thought $1 million was a big number, we're, if you haven't heard, we're surprised you with that. And then, of course, we're giving you the best updates here for World of Tanks. See you in a moment. Welcome back to The Good Show, Part 2, because we've learned how to do advertisement breaks. Well done, us. Of course, we're still joined by the same people. No one's left in the 30 seconds. Semmler's still here. Look at them. They didn't move at all. Surprisingly. All right, so let's go into then StarCraft 2. Some of the interesting points in StarCraft 2, some of the things that have been announced this week. First of all, attention whore Michal Bliash, who runs the Intel Extreme Masters and just generally, does whore himself out for attention every once in a while. I can say this because I know him personally, and no offense, his wife is way hotter than he is, right? So he deserves to be put down somewhere in life. And he's Polish, and he's working for the Intel Extreme Masters. He's like a millionaire in Poland right now. So he said on Twitter, if we take a look at this, I am told a big non-Korean player contract is up, and there are people out trying to poach him. Expect turmoil in Korea as well. Holy shit. Do you just think he was in the ESL offices taking a piss and then someone just walked up behind him and said, hey, there's a non-Korean gamer. His contract's run out. He's going to get poached. And Carmack's like, I can't piss when you talk to me. And then he's like, God, that was such good news. I'm going to tweet about it. Because that's how I imagine it happened. Anyway, let's get serious and stop bashing Carmack. Basically, it is big news because we do know that some of the biggest foreigner StarCraft players have got their contracts either out of date or their teams might not be doing so well. To give an example, I do believe that Stefano, his contract is probably soon with Millennium to be up. I do believe that he's quite fond of bling, not just wearing the shiny stuff, but actually the Dignitas player. So I wouldn't be surprised if Stefano and Bling would duo up. But Stefano's actually moved back to England now, I think. He was in France, and he wasn't having the best of time. He hated the internet, but he did love Stefano. Also, Forzane Mousesports. Is that contract up? Because I think it either is or is soon.
If it was 1 year contract, I think he was signed in May, actually. So
yeah, so there we go. So there's Forzane. And last but not least, Quantic Gaming. Not doing so well, losing players. Investment that they had might be running out. which could release Naniwa and Sase. So these are my 3 predictions.
So someone
The one in the middle is Stefano.
Naniwa and Sase count as 1.
Yes,
Then? Okay.
they are an Archon of Swedish delight
Gotcha.
in Korea.
Just clearing that up.
Let's see. Well, you said
But
maybe
said
Naniwa, Stefano,
Thorstein
and
or
Thorstein. So Newman, who will you recruit? Do you take back Naniwa?
And Newman
Do you want Stefano, who was in
Well-
Millennium, went to Complexity, went back to Millennium within 24 hours? Or do you want Thorstein?
But we could be completely wrong here about
Yeah.
all of these predictions.
Yeah,
Could be someone else.
But let's just say that Nani was probably not going to come back to Team Dignitas because him and Odie probably don't get on, I'm guessing now. Because, you know, you just did this off camera, but, you know. So, Stefano, I don't think Stefano really cares about how much, like, money he makes off a team because
I think
he
he
gets...
cares about the money, though.
Yeah, but he gets 10,000 people when he streams. So he can make a lot of money off streaming on Twitch. Yeah, and he also wins a shit ton of tournaments. And he just took a grand off me last weekend.
Depends on what team he joins as well. If you can get a salary similar to Huck, he could make 6 figures a year salary.
But he has always stated that he's all in for the money. So I mean, the salary should be the most important thing.
Yeah.
It's the
Well,
safest
Team
thing as
Dignitas are
well.
very stable and sensible about salaries. That's why...
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why
So-
we're still alive.
Yeah, that's why you're still here. Forzane. So I'm going, if Team Dignitas were to try and poach one, I reckon you go for Stefano or Forzane, obviously, because they're the only 2. But let's not talk to you about this, because Odie's probably watching. And I know you probably have meetings, and you've probably spoken to the people out of contracts, haven't you? I bet you have. I bet the people out of contracts you've already spoken to in meetings. Yes or no?
You
No
put him on the
comment.
spot.
Huh?
No comment.
Yeah, I fucking know
Gotta
it.
put him on the
I
spot.
mean,
Alright,
there's lots of good players out of contract right now, or that they will be out of contract soon. So it's, I think it's going to be, things are going to start moving soon.
And of course, the silly season is between around New Year's. I also think that it's a good point at this because it's so early with all these different seasons going on. And for example, Interesting Masters hasn't started yet. So I think that it's a good time to sign new players at this moment before the summer tournaments.
Yeah.
And I mean, all the three players you mentioned, Thorstein, Stefano, and Nano, are doing really well at the moment. So
Well, they're the best. They are the best.
They're all going to be
European players
have a
out
really
there.
easy negotiating session with their current teams, basically, and the new teams. They could probably increase their salaries a lot.
Yeah, but
I mean, especially Thorstein.
yeah, Thorstein is probably the one that is least popular of those 3 because the other 2 are maybe aside of Hawk and Nidra, maybe the 2 most popular and has the most fans. But I think Naniwa, he has not always been that easy to handle for management.
Yeah.
And I think that Stefano maybe is kind of the same. To me, he's a lot of goofing around at least, and maybe he's bad mannered, but he's doing it in a good way. So I don't know. Maybe Stefano is a good pickup. I don't know how he is.
Well, we don't even know
He's French,
if
so-
these
Yeah,
are the
he's French.
players.
Could be anyone.
So, do you have any other speculations on what Carmack was told while he was taking a piss in the ESL office?
I mean, thinking of
Any
Carmack
other
as well,
players?
he's working in Germany for a German company.
I hope he's not talking about like Hazuobs or something.
Probably not. But I mean, looking at the connections, he should be having that day-to-day base kind of thing.
But
It should be Mouse Sports then.
I mean-
Thorstein, but it could be anyone.
Yeah,
but with like 2,000 players, someone is maybe gonna be picked up or
exactly.
is have his salary
Yes,
offered or blah blah blah. It's
let's mock
happening
him
all
more.
the time. So
let's mock him more. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Well done.
It's basically
well done, us.
it's basically an attention whore thing. like you
So we
mentioned
should
earlier.
just change the news item to Carmack needs more attention because Intellectual Masters is probably, needing to get a little bit better to keep up.
They should spend more time on their secret team league.
I like
Trying to
Carmack.
launch.
Probably gonna beat James and Frederick up at the next event. Hopefully, I can be there getting the camera on, so I get some YouTube clips and my attention horror thingy.
All right, well, let's just leave it at that, but it will be interesting to see if anything does happen, and Carmack won't really say anything that won't happen, because he's not that kind of person, so I got a feeling it might be Forzane, just because he's well connected to the German organizations, ESL, so that wouldn't surprise me, but of course,
I don't
we'll
think
see what
it's
happens.
signed yet, to be honest. So
Well, we'll see. But Mousesports are a great organisation as well, so there might not be a reason to want to leave. And I don't think Forzane's in it for the money. I think he just, really loves what he does.
Didn't Mouseport win the 9th EPS or something this weekend? In I think it was Counter-Strike 1.6.
Yeah. I think it was the 14th, but it was the 9th in a row.
Was it the 9th in a row? I mean,
that's crazy.
that's insane.
I mean, they're super strong in Germany.
Yeah, for sure. And they're really, really old organization.
Yeah, and they're very stable. Youngest, the owner, is very good at what he does, and I don't think they will struggle with sponsors to keep people like Forzane. So of course, we're just talking shit, really. But anyway, also in Starcraft 2, this news didn't come from me, so I'm a bit confuzzled, and someone's going to have to explain it. But the MLG Spring Arena 2 qualifiers are being played this weekend, but broadcasted in 2 weeks on May the 11th. Did you write this?
No.
Who wrote this?
That was you.
Was it you?
I think it was me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah? Ah.
Yeah. And there was a question saying, huh? Was the question, what did you want to point out here, Newman? Just, do you think it's weird that they're not doing it live? Or?
Not last year, but was it the winter qualifier?
Yeah, their first arena.
Yeah, all the results leaked because they basically did the tournament and then broadcasted it, and they're doing the same thing again.
I found it out. No, but it was really bad.
It's a two-week delay is not that much, but I don't know, it's risky. It's a big scandal last time, so I don't know.
What do you mean by big scandal? Results got out?
All the results were leaked, and then they broadcast. I think Apollo was actually casting it, but everyone already knew who won, so it's a bit weird.
It's important when you're building something up and having these qualifiers, you of course are looking for some numbers. With the IPL, was it IPL 1? They got all the results leaked. And MLG got for this. There is not a big point to watch the games.
Yeah.
In the first hand, it's qualifiers, so the players won't play maybe their best or have the best situation to do the rest, like in a LAN environment. And then having all the results leaked is really, really bad. So I'm a little bit maybe surprised, but when you're doing it over the 3 continents and 3 different time zones, and maybe your target market is America, then you of course want to have it on a good time for the viewers.
I'm guessing that's the main
reason. I get
reason.
it, but
yeah, it's risky though.
Yeah, it's hard to do it
because all the results are already out there. Among teams and players and staffs, but not among the public, I guess, yet. But
yeah, but this last time they actually presented it on their own site. You could watch the results on their own site. I think they've solved that. Of course they have. But
did you reckon Sundance fired that guy?
I hope not. I don't know how MLG run their business, but if they are kicking people for a mistake, then maybe that's not a good environment to have a long-term success. Okay.
Well, I'm sure some of the viewers will have an opinion on it, and we'll see how it runs. Hopefully for MLG it runs smooth, nothing gets leaked, and people enjoy watching the event.
It's in May somewhere, right?
It's in May the 11th, I think it was.
That's to
be broadcast May the 11th.
Yeah, but the actual arena. When is that?
I think the actual arena is end of May.
Yeah.
No.
18th maybe?
It's June, beginning of June, I thought.
No, because that's June is the championship, right?
It's MLG Anaheim.
It's in... Yeah, it's in May.
Where's Apollo when we need him?
It's somewhere around later in May, after the 11th.
I'm guessing they're probably doing the actual broadcast of the qualifiers on the weekend of the May 11th, and then they do the
actual next weekend will probably be,
that's good, though.
That's kind of smart,
building up the hype.
Okay, well, we'll see how that goes. Also in StarCraft 2 then, as we move on from MLG, basically, big announcement tomorrow. You guys should definitely keep you guys should definitely stick to Team Liquid tomorrow. They're probably going to be the first people to pick this up.
Twitter.
Or Twitter, as well. But basically, there will be an announcement tomorrow between GOM, OGN, Kesper, and Blizzard. That's all they've really said. There's an announcement tomorrow between these companies. You've been following this a lot closer than most other people, Hellspawn. So any speculation on the announcement, or just basically how they're going to work together, what it's going to mean, how it's going to change the scene, and how it's going to change your life entirely and how you view the world?
it's hard to know what's gonna happen, but I mean, I don't know when Blizzard and Kespa got on good terms. This almost half a year, or at least 4 or 5 months ago. And of course, we have seen the Brood War players preparing for Starcraft 2. I don't know if it has been announced that the Pro League would be half games Brood War, half games Starcraft 2, or if it's just rumored. But
well, that's what some of the people are saying in the articles, that the announcement is obviously rumored to be around, obviously, a pro league.
Yeah.
You know, a cooperation between all of them, but no one really knows of how it's, if it is, or how it's going to work, and whatever jazz.
I mean, it could be cool that maybe the GOM teams that are the StarCraft 2 teams in Korea at the moment, and the OGN or Kespa teams that are the Brood War teams, go together in some kind of a system. Maybe GSTL will disappear, and we will have Pro League on OGN, and then we have the one-on-one teams in GSL. Maybe that would be a solution, because for OGN, always the Pro League has been the important and the big numbers. Maybe we will see that they will do something with the Blizzard World Series together. Maybe we will see that... I don't know. I think it's going to be big.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be some kind of merge together to show like we are friends for real. And I hope it's going to be big and good for everybody. Probably it's going to be, but maybe not for the Korean players that are in StarCraft 2 now.
Well,
because when Flash and the guys come, shit is going down.
But I think it's made me more excited to know that something's going to happen between those companies and the players that could be involved. It's made me more excited for StarCraft 2 because, you know, I speak to TLO and he says that everyone's basically shit at StarCraft 2 right now compared to what they will be later. You know, and it will take a while for people to get really amazing at the game in terms of, you know, TLO says he's basically shit and, you know, compared to what people were in Brood War. So it'll be interesting to see. But, of course, it's nice that they've got something sorted with Blizzard. It's much nicer to hear this rather than when Mike Morhaime decided to fly over to Korea because he wanted to take the StarCraft Brood War players out to dinner. Because he contacted them directly via their emails, they were told by their team managers not to go to the dinner, and Mike Morhaime turned up at a restaurant and sat by himself in Korea and then had to fly home. That wasn't very good for Mike Morhaime, so I'm glad that he's actually over now talking to them. That actually happened a long time ago. I got told that by a Blizzard employee. Probably shouldn't say it, but whatever. But yeah, you know, Mike Morhaime's awesome. I just love that guy. So it's just cool that he's like, hey man, want to go to dinner? Just like sends him a private email. But at the time, he wasn't meant to talk to the players directly, apparently, which is a bit weird. But it's really cool that, you know, something's going to happen. So I'm really...
I mean, no matter what they do, it's going to be big, definitely.
Yeah.
I think the interesting part is what's going to happen with the Korean players on the international teams at the moment. So I'm guessing most of the Koreans, if OGN comes into StarCraft 2, most of the Korean players are going to want to play in that league as well.
Yeah, because I don't think that the newcomers into the esports know exactly how the Brood War teams work. It's like, okay, Flash, he's so good, he learns everything, and he's a machine, he's a practice machine. That's not all there is to it. Actually, it's the way that they practice, the kind of structure that they have, that is not seen in the StarCraft 2 scene yet. So I think that, yeah, the Koreans would like to be in their own teams, like MC. He was in NBC before, for example. I think they want to have that kind of practice environment, but I don't think that the Korean in StarCraft 2 will go back because they have salaries, they have the possibility to travel. I don't think that the Korean Brood War teams will do that because their target market is Seoul and Korea.
Yeah. Yep. All the sponsors that have been built up over outside, you know, within like OGN and Kespa, you know, all the sponsors that you see, you know, they're very heavily Korean. So
yeah, most of them are big media houses.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you know, but of course, you know, let's not talk about that anymore. But basically, guys, just keep your eyes on Twitter and Team Liquid for tomorrow. The announcement actually has a time. Is it that it's actually going to be posted? Is it? Yeah. No, it doesn't have a time. No time, but it's going to be happening tomorrow, May the 2nd. So keep your eye out for that. Also then, in terms of announcements in StarCraft 2, probably a fan favorite announcement really is that Team Liquid are going to be doing TSL 4.
Oh, yeah.
Hellspawn, you look very excited.
Yeah, TSL 3 was without a doubt the best online tournament last year, and it was for sure one of the best tournament overall. What I'm looking for is that having that Saturday, Sunday, where you sit down and you prepare to watch some awesome games. I remember that. I think a lot of the people that are fans now actually maybe followed TSL 3 as their first tournament.
Yeah, definitely. I did.
There were a reason to sit down and actually watch the tournament. All other tournaments just come by, go like that, and you didn't really care. But TSL 3, I think they didn't have like 80 or 90,000 concurrent viewers.
Yeah, and they had lots of different commentators. They had was it the portrait art guy do the portraits?
Yeah.
But basically, Team Liquid, when they come together as a community, they can do absolutely amazing things because so many different people working in so many different areas as volunteers or staff. So everyone's really excited for TSL 4. We have no announcement of when the date's going to be, but I'm sure they've been working on it for quite a while, so we're all very excited to see it. And we do have here the TSL 4 teaser video with an advert at the bottom. I don't know if I've got sound coming out to you guys, but of course, yeah, it says it all really. I think it's one of those events which, as you mentioned, doesn't just come and go. You remember it. So I'm looking forward to TSL 4. So keep your eyes on Team Liquid for that, and that's quite a big announcement that they're doing more. They're also partnered, it's worth mentioning, with Twitch TV and Razer for this tournament. So Razer being one of their main sponsors. So it would be good to see what kind of prize money. I don't want to speculate, but I'm sure they know that it will have to be something bigger than usual for online tournaments. But even though there is the prestige of it.
I felt partly that in the announcement they were trying to take down the expectations of it. I don't exactly remember what made me think that, but it felt like maybe they won't have the top Koreans as they had last time. Maybe they will not have a crazy prize pool for the development since last year. I mean, now you can't. I don't remember what they had last year actually in prize money. I know it was good.
It wasn't. I mean, it wasn't spectacular, I guess, but it was decent money.
Yeah, at that point it was really good money. Yeah. I mean, but now with IPL 4, for example, didn't they have like $100,000? I mean, when you can play that on a weekend and maybe TSL is not as interesting. What I was excited for is that they were running the finals in New York with a live audience. What I think at least.
But we haven't had any announcement for TSL 4. Or, did they say that was going to be in New York?
In New York,
yes.
Sorry, they did. Grand finals, but I don't think they mentioned a live audience.
They didn't? Maybe that was the Red Bull one. But I would like to have a really, really good live tournament in New York. I don't really remember since last time we had that with the big audience and stuff like that.
Painkiller finals was...
Yeah, but that was like in 2005.
Yeah, but that's the last one. Probably.
Really?
Yeah. With a live audience, I can't think of any.
In New York with a live audience?
One of the IEM events,
you had Comic-Con though.
Oh, yeah.
But maybe not in this. That is only an esports tournament.
Yeah. WSVG was 2006. That was New York.
Oh yeah.
Remember Quake 4? I remember. I was
but
there.
But at the time, anyway, I would like to have a Starcraft 2 tournament in New York with a big audience. Yeah. That would be cool.
Yeah. Only Starcraft, only esports. You mean as opposed to Comic-Con?
No disregards to that or disrespect, but it's a different thing to have people only showing up for esports event and for the actual tournament. And I was so disappointed last year with the TSL 3 finals that they were not a live audience. It was not so cool looking as it could have been compared to how the online tournament was. Yeah, I think the online tournament were better than the finals.
Yeah, I believe so. But of course, we've seen and learned a lot over the time since TSL 3 to date. Yeah. So I'm sure they're going to be able to step it up. And also now they actually have. I think it was the Little App Factory that was one of the sponsors back in TSL 3. Huh?
Poker Strategy.
Oh, sorry, Poker Strategy, yeah. But now, of course, with Razer, Razer obviously won a good representation online. But, of course, the tournament will be 32 players. You're, of course, going to see Forzane, Empire Kaz, and also Naniwa return as, the top finishers over at TSL 3, if I'm correct.
Yeah,
I'm
I think
correct.
so.
I'm correct. And of course, then speaking of Naniwa, that's going to be in it. Before Semmler wants to say something else.
Just something to add on real quick is that they're actually going to have open qualifiers for Korea this time, not North Korea, South Korea, but Korea this time, because there was an invite system last one, TSL 3, and this time it's actually going to be open, which is awesome. So we're going to see some fresh blood coming from the Korean scene.
Yeah, that will be really interesting. So yeah, also mentioning Naniwa that will be returning to TSL 4. Naniwa is now going to be playing tomorrow in, of course, the round of 8. The Swedes in the corner look very happy, of course. But we have it here on Rakaka, where basically all you guys talk about is fucking Naniwa. Not actually fucking Naniwa, that would be a bit weird, but just generally Naniwa. Forzane got in there for a little bit, but now we're back on Naniwa. And he's going to be playing versus MVP. You know, let's not talk so much about when it is and when it's going to happen, because that will ruin our final segment. But of course, Naniwa in the round of 8. Training very hard.
Yeah, it's big.
Caldor did a little vlog saying that basically Nani was playing over 60 games a day and he wants to do more. And he's only really got to prepare only for MVP. The maps have been decided. Don't even know how to pronounce them because I don't play Starcraft 2. But Cloud Kingdom, Something Valley, Antigua Shipyard, Daybreak, that was easy, and Metrolopolis. Well, that didn't come off my tongue very well. But yeah, they're the maps. So let's just talk about Naniwa in round of 8 versus MVP. You guys can talk, I'll take a break.
I think he looks really confident. I mean, from reading his Twitter messages and stuff, I think he's practicing a lot and he's confident. I think didn't MVP go to this Chinese tournament this week and lost?
I haven't seen that. So
I've seen that. So okay, I think he lost to some guy in the finals actually. So.
Oh really?
I don't know.
MVP was for sure maybe the best player 2011. But a lot of people is counting him out. I think that's a mistake because MVP is so good. But we should remember that especially his TVT has been his strongest side. And I think that also his TVC has been good. Maybe Naniwa has actually a good chance. But for me, it's not about how the game will develop or not. It's about what Naniwa has achieved. Huck has been in round of 8 once. Was in round of 4 twice. But this is the third person from the Western world that is in the round of 8, so it's huge. And from the last group play, Naniwa looks so confident. He looked relaxed. I talked to him some part in Stockholm, and he said that he's got a new mental set. I think that all players try to say that, I'm thinking in a new way, but
it's really
he looked different, even though he didn't do this so well.
He got thinner, Naniwa. You noticed that when he's got thinner.
Yeah, but I think he has gone up.
Sorry,
and down.
I just thought I'd throw that in.
Korea,
you're looking great, Naniwa.
I think he liked the Korean food actually.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he likes it a lot. He only eats like sushi
so much
every time he can, but that's not really Korean food.
Yeah,
but anyway,
I think it's healthy. But this is gonna be crazy. I think that more or less all Swedes will stop their working and try to see what Naniwa will do against MVP. I hope he will win because that will be a huge win. A lot of people actually think that he can make it to the final and actually win it.
Yeah, I think he's definitely one of the players out there right now that has that winning mentality. So I think he will be disappointed if he doesn't get past round of 8.
But it's so hard. It's MVP.
But so what? He's been able to beat some of the best Koreans, and the thing is,
he took him in the MLG that show game thing.
Yeah, and he's beaten ST a few times. And we have to remind ourselves that MVP recently, I believe, lost to Moon. Not sure in the tournament, but of course it means that there's no guarantee win here for either player. It's going to be brilliant. Make sure if you're supporting, Naniwa or just European esports and want to see something different, because this is actually really good news though for GOM TV, financially, because not financially but viewership wise, because GOM TV get the best viewing numbers when there are foreigners playing in their tournaments, and that's why they have done some Code S invites. Yes, you want to say something?
Yeah, sorry for always trying to speak so much, but I still want to say it, and I think that I'm right, but I'm not sure that the biggest GSL game still is Boxer versus Nada in GSL Season 2, the open season. And for me, actually, that game is still the biggest game in Starcraft 2. And what I mean with that is that I haven't seen so much hype coming up to one single game compared to what happened in October 2010. And I think that has been a problem for StarCraft 2, that all players are at all tournaments and we have seen them so much. What you want to have it is that, like it was in OSL and MSL, that players didn't face off until maybe 3-4 tournaments later, maybe half a year. So you're so excited to see that Flash versus Jadon, for example. So maybe that can be the thing again with Naniwa being in a final, that you would be so hyped for a StarCraft 2 game. So
Yeah.
I'm looking
But
for
I mean,
it.
looking at GOM TV and Korea and all this, I think, isn't GOM TV for free in Korea as well?
Actually, I don't
international
know.
audience is where they actually make the money.
Yeah,
That's what I heard at least.
That's my impression too, but I don't actually know. But GOM TV, I mean, that's a big. It's like the Windows Media Player or VLC for Korea. I think they have a big market. I don't remember how many percentage, but it's kind of big, and it's like a TV channel. So they have all kinds of different channels where you just can open the media player and then choose the channel you want to see. So yeah, I think it's for free for sure. But they're getting money in other kind of ways with the platform and the sponsors and getting people to actually use it and see all kinds of different TV shows.
I mean, when I spoke to Mr. Che over in Vegas, I think it was, he said that when we were talking about how Koreans like to watch their streams, he said they prefer it in a platform as opposed to like on a website. So it's something that the community over there are very used to and use. All right then, so yeah, basically just to sum that up, big hype for tomorrow. Naniwa in the round of 8 versus MVP. Make sure you're there. And before we go to a quick advertisement break, we're going to show you once again, to remind you, this is The Good Show, powered by Asus, Republic of Gamers. They're awesome. And I'm going to bring up the Facebook, because that's what I do. I click things on my PC, and Trance will press a button, and then you see what's on my PC. There's my PC, and that's what's on my PC. And what's on my PC is another fucking PC. It's a laptop, really, but could have been a PC. Would have been better if it was a PC. But basically, I just wanted to say, before we go to advertisement break, you can win this G55VW laptop, not contest, in the G55VW contest for the laptop by liking this page, facebook.com/ROG Nordic. Basically, all you have to do is like the page, click the icon for the contest, and then go down and answer in comments below this. What does Asus Republic of Gamers mean to you? And with that being said, and our StarCraft 2 section being done, and we will go to a quick advertisement break. And when we come back, yes, the long-awaited World of Tanks news. Welcome back to part 3 of the Good Studio, powered by Asus, Republic of Gamers. Great name. Yeah, we're going to be moving on, not to the World of Tanks section, just like to tease you guys, to keep you around, save best to last, and put the table straight. Yeah, so basically, a little bit of League of Legends news, guys. We don't feature it here on the Good Studio in terms of tournaments, because, you know, why would we? But of course, League of Legends news. Basically, the big news out, I have a link to it apparently. Let me just find it. Oh, well done. Shared documents of awesomeness. Click, click, click. Oh, I've lost my shared document now. But basically, League of Legends have announced a 3 million prize pool for the Season 2 World Champion Reign of the World Finals for League of Legends. It's fucking another great name. Season 2 World Championship Reign of the World Finals for League of Legends, and it's a 3 million prize pool. It's bigger than Dota. It's bigger than my bank account. It's bigger than Trance's parking ticket debts. It's generally quite big. It's going to happen in Los Angeles on October the 13th, so after all the summer, which will have DreamHack will have League of Legends. Of course, we're not sure about the distribution of prizing yet. Oh wait,
12 teams.
Someone gets
12
filthy
teams.
rich at least.
Yeah, I think the first place team will get $1 million, cool $1 million. And well, actually, maybe not.
that
Yeah, I think they will.
why not?
I think the first place team will get a cool $1 million, like similar to like the Dota 2 Invitationals. And then because Dota 2 Invitationals was 1.6 million, Navi won 1 million, and then a lot of the other teams got a good chunk. I think second place might have been 250,000. But yeah, League of Legends, they're getting rich. Kids with money, what are they going to do? They're going to go crazy. They need some parenting. Stop the kids playing League of Legends. Give them some advice. Send them to financial school. They can pay. But basically, what do you make of this big announcement? Because it was meant to be a 5 million over the whole year, if I'm correct. The whole season. And it's 3 million for the finals. And I presume Riot are handling it themselves this time, because they use ESL a lot in Europe. So I don't know if ESL are going to come over and help. But Hellspawn Newman in the corner. Newman, you have a League of Legends team.
Yeah.
What % do you take from your League of Legends team when they win tournaments?
80, something like that.
Just 80.
Nah.
Can I sign up?
I can't remember, and if I
It
did
will take
remember,
me
I
a
wouldn't
week
tell
to
you
get
anyway.
professional at League of Legends. Can I sign?
I guess 20%.
I'm guessing.
It's not 20%.
I reckon if they win a tournament, that Dignitas let them keep it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, see? I know.
But-
Because I used to be Dignitas, and I'm cool.
Just on that, do you think it was bad of Arch side to say, no, I don't want to give $20,000 to Navi, so that's why he took it himself and left the team and got banned and so on?
I think it kind of depends on what the team did for them as well. If they picked them up like a week before the event and then they went and won, basically, then the 20%, whatever it was, isn't that good, I think. But it's, I mean, it depends on kind of what relationship you have between the team and the organization as well, or the players. I mean, I don't know how long before they actually joined Navi.
No, I think they played a while, but I'm not sure.
I mean, if they spent money for a year, sent them to different smaller events to get good and spent money on boot camps, of course they should be paying back out of principle, basically, and help supporting the other players in the team.
He was doing bad. No, but League of Legends, crazy. They went out with $5 million. I felt that announcement was just to counter Valve's Dota 2 with the Gamescom when they had the $1 million to the winner. We haven't seen so much where the money will come and when the Season 2 will start, but I think didn't they announce 4 tournaments, and DreamHack and MLG being 2 of those with $40,000 each?
Yeah,
I think it was 4, but I don't remember actually the 2 others.
Yep.
But in some kind of way there would be the ladder and there would be these tournaments to decide. Did you say 12 teams, Semmler?
Yes,
12 teams for the finals.
12 teams, yeah.
But it's also worth mentioning, by the way, that yes, MLG are adding League of Legends to, I think it's Anaheim. So League of Legends will be at Anaheim for MLG, and League of Legends also at DreamHack. And DreamHack are now the only organization or festival, we can call it, that actually has all the MOBAs all at the same place. Now, this is quite interesting because I know that we're getting past the 3 million. Basically, there's 3 million. It's lots of money. It's a marketing thing, but
It's
also
not lots. It's crazy.
it's crazy amounts of money. It's probably the biggest. The only people that did more money As possibly would be the Indian Gaming Festival
Yeah.
next year. Stay tuned for that. That's an inside joke if you don't understand, or just followed that. But basically, yeah, it's one of the biggest, if not the biggest, we've ever seen. And what people have learned in publishers that I've noticed is that if you take your tournament or you take your booth to Gamescom, you have access to 300,000 people. If you throw in 1.6 million, you have access to maybe 2 million people at the end of the event because of all the online coverage for your event. Yeah. So basically, Riot, have taken a page out of what Valve did, and I think Valve did correctly, despite, it was a one-off, to basically continue to market their game in a very strong way. So let's move past the 3 million and talk about MLG picking up League of Legends and also DreamHack. Now, what's interesting about this is that MLG, now they have, picked up League of Legends, we will most likely never see another MOBA game within MLG. Certainly not HON, maybe not Dota 2. One of the reasons is that when I was working for Bloodline Champions and basically for Sunlock Studios, when I was approaching some organizations to add Bloodline Champions, there is actually a contract with League of Legends that states I didn't see the contract, I got told, that basically when League of Legends is in your tournament, they say that you cannot have any other competing MOBAs. So now MLG won't be able to have Dota and they won't be able to have HON because that's what Riot Games state in their contracts. But interestingly enough, DreamHack are the only people that get away with it. Probably because DreamHack is a festival, and are you responsible for running the League of Legends tournament, or are they taking it to DreamHack and running the tournament themselves? Because this is what's interesting about DreamHack. DreamHack are always announcing their tournaments, and then they also allow other people to come in the exhibitor area and run their own tournaments. DreamHack Summer of last year was ran by ESL, and Riot Games had bought out the exhibitor space. So Hellspawn, can you give us a little bit of insight about how League of Legends is fitting in your tournaments over at DreamHack, since you work there?
I'm going to be very diplomatic to start off, and you're saying that working with Valve, Riot, and S2 Games, all are really nice, and they are really professional, to be honest. And
yeah, they are.
Actually haven't been, it hasn't been a problem to run all three of them. There has been no conflict. The only thing that I can say is that when we have announced, I think it was Dota 2 that we announced first.
You announced that as one of your tournaments,
yes.
though. So
and
Dota 2 is an official DreamHack tournament.
Yeah, but I think all three of them are.
Are they?
Yeah.
Ooh.
But what we could see is that the other, of course, wanted to let us present the two other tournaments also.
Okay.
So Riot and S2 tried to push it a lot to announce it.
Who's running the League of Legends tournament at DreamHack? Is it them, is it you, or is it ESL?
At DreamHack Summer 2011, we had the Season 1 finals.
Yes, it was
with
ESL.
$100,000.
Yeah.
It was Riot who was buying an exhibition booth, and it was I think it was ESL who was producing it. But that was not an ESL event, it was a Riot event.
Mm-hmm.
And at DreamHack Summer we will have a DreamHack League of Legends tournament. Sponsored by MSI, if I'm not incorrect. Yeah, it should be MSI.
HON tournament, you mean?
No. The League of Legends one.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, well that answers it, but
and the HON tournament is called DreamHound.
Yeah, it's DreamHack.
So,
and it's the one with the most prize money, it's $60,000.
Yeah.
I don't remember, we had, let's see. That should be on par what was at DreamHack Winter, which most people told me was the best Heroes of New Earth tournament ever at the DreamHack Winter, because it was 300,000 Swedish crowns, and more or less all of the good teams were there. So
yeah, Fnatic won, I believe.
I think they won.
Yep. And they forfeited the first game, and still won. So they were 1-0 down and actually came back 2-1 because of something crazy, because of the crazy admins over at DreamHack. No, only joking. But yeah,
Fnatic won almost everything actually at DreamHack Winter. I think they came Night and got top 4 in Starcraft. The contract team won, and it was maybe something more. So it was easy to handle the prize money because it was more or less only Fnatic. No, but it will be all 3 tournaments at DreamHack Summer. It's really cool. We love MOBA. Some say you can't call it MOBA, but that's what I do at least.
Well, that's what it was called. All the Dota games and even BLC were actually all classified under MOBA within League of Legends terms for signing with a organization. But I do have to say that I don't know, is the stream dead or you guys just not moving? Fucking hell, look at you. Okay, I was like, what? You weren't even blinking. But basically, I don't know if League of Legends are still following that as a not a, as a competitive edge to kind of not let other MOBA games get in on their marketing dollar, basically. But I don't know. But back when I was working in Stunlock Studios, which was, I guess, I don't know how long
6 months ago?
Yeah, 6 to 9 months ago, it was like that. I think it was 9 months ago I would have got that news. But yeah, still interesting. So League of Legends then is going to be over at MLG. It's going to be at DreamHack, and 3 million for the big final. So make sure, if you're interested, follow it. Lots of people going to get lots of money. Yeah. And Riot, very good at paying out, so props to them. I see no problem with what they're doing. I think it will bring in a lot of new eyes onto esports, so I'm generally quite happy for it.
I think actually that the whole gaming industry is looking what Riot are doing,
yep.
And following it partly. But the question is, will Dignitas win those 3 millions or whatever they will get? What are their chances?
No, I mean, we're a really good team at the moment, but I mean, there's like maybe 5 teams that can win that final, I guess.
But at the moment it's Moscow 5 that's the best because they won the Extreme Masters.
They're really good.
They're really strong performance.
Yeah, it's us, Moscow 5,
guys,
CLG.
One sec. Who cares? All right, so moving on into next bit of news. Is still actually League of Legends. Just wanted to keep it going for a little bit longer. Basically, Team Solo Mid has moved over to Twitch TV. I only want to mention this announcement, not because actually I have a contract out with Twitch TV and I think they're awesome. Better than real TV, Twitch TV. But basically,
the Solo Mid,
Team Solo Mid, yeah.
Team Solo Mid.
Like I think it's like Guardsman Bob, Reginald, and
2 other guys.
Dearest or something. How'd you say his name?
Don't ask me.
But basically, these guys have already now established between their own team, obviously Team Dignitas are also on Twitch TV, have established that League of Legends is now the top viewed game consistently on Twitch TV, which it never used to be. It always used to be Starcraft 2. Now, it's not so much the news about TSM have moved over to Twitch TV, it's more the news between Twitch TV and Own3D, if we're going to stir shit. But basically, Own3D had a very big stronghold on League of Legends.
More or less.
They were, and even Riot, back in the day, were looking to choose Own3D as their preferred platform. Now Freak, one of the developers of League of Legends, he's actually a really awesome guy, Freak. If you ever meet him, he actually plays a lot of Counter-Strike, Quake. He watches our Quake shows, Freak. He's awesome. He's probably watching this and just shaking his head at all the League of Legends stuff that we're saying. He's like, they are such a bunch of twats. We love you, Freak. But he's even on Twitch TV now, and with Team Solo Mid moving over, and I do believe that CLG, their biggest streamer, is Hotshot GG. I believe he's over in Korea right now, so he's not streaming. What do you guys... Because I'm going to ask this specifically to Hellspawn, because I shouldn't really... I can have an opinion, because I know everything, but I want to throw it to Hellspawn, because you were the guy stirring up a lot of shit between Twitch and Own3D on Rakakar a while ago, if I'm correct. Let's have a nod. Let's have a nod.
Stream Wars.
Yeah, see? Stream Wars.
Yeah, but...
but what does this mean, Hellspawn? What does it mean for both companies? Let's have your expert opinion.
Just short history, it was that Own3D was so big from the get-go with the gaming. I think they were the first taking the gaming market with the streaming. During the fall, 2011, I thought that Own3D had lost the war totally, that Twitch TV took all the market. But then suddenly I started to realize that Own3D actually started to sign people also. They got big with League of Legends. They also got really big with more or less all the Korean Starcraft 2 players, which actually attract a lot of viewers, of course. And I started to realize that maybe the war is not over, that is on the get-go. And we saw a lot of announcements with Twitch TV bringing on GG Wheat, they brought on Too Good. We saw that Own3D brought on Kelly Milkis, but in the shadow in some kind of way.
Kelly Milkis, yeah.
But at least we saw a different...
Kelly Milkis does like to work in the shadows. Or sometimes under red lights, but...
it's so cruel.
I'm not sure.
Anyway, what I did realize was that both organizations started to be more aggressive through the market. Yeah. Started to sponsor, started to throw in money, tournaments and so on. And with this, it's a big move, but we saw, for example, oh shit, I forgot his name. Who's the big charming guy? Steve Bonnell, what is it called?
Destiny,
Destiny, of course. That he lost a lot of viewership when he moved from Own3D to Twitch TV. We saw a lot of viewer decrease for, I think, day 9 when he moved from Ustream to Twitch TV. So, will that happen to TSM too?
Destiny his last move was from Twitch to Own, I think.
Owned, yeah.
And that's
Hey, he's back?
That's where.
Yeah, he's
No,
back
he-
to Owned.
No, he's still on Own.
He was on Twitch, and then he went to Owned,
Yeah.
and that was pretty much the end of that story.
Yeah,
and
that's
then
where he
stayed
dropped
on
off,
Owned.
basically.
But like with
that was wrong.
But
sorry.
one of the things that we want to mention, like Own 3D. I mean, how do you see the future of both companies, Hellspawn, in terms of now if they don't have a stronghold on League of Legends, are they really going? You know,
But I mean, you know League of Legends much more than I do.
Yeah.
It's one of my weak games, but to my knowledge, isn't CLG the biggest organization? They have more or less like the Team Liquid of League of Legends.
well, no,
and
Solo Mid and CLG both have a very big community website
Okay,
where
is
they
that
link
the-
streams.
That's not the same. They're
Not the
different.
same.
Two
No, they're
big
very
ones,
different. And basically, Team Solo Mid right now do have bigger streaming numbers. I mean, one of the biggest streamers out there is SK Ocelot, who's also on Own3D.
Yeah.
But you know, any speculation in terms of where the companies may go if after these kind of moves, or do you just think like it's just going to be a continued war for top streamers?
What do you think?
I think it's all about basically getting the ad revenue as well. I mean, it's really hard getting the fill rates that these companies are trying to get. I mean, having a lot of streamers is going to be a problem as well, because the more views you deliver, the more ads you have to actually sell.
Yeah.
And with this big CBS deal, I think that's the biggest advantage.
CBS Interactive, did sign with Twitch TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big. I guess.
That's the biggest advantage Twitch has got at the moment, I'd say. And with this Solomid thing as well. I mean, if Twitch can get a big part of LoL as well, it's looking good, basically.
Yeah.
I know Owen's got a lot of Dota, though.
Yeah,
Dota too.
Join Dota.
Yeah,
very
join
good.
Dota, which even though the Ghost Gamers maybe is the biggest community or news site, I think the Join Dota has done a really good work since they started, and especially Toby, he's awesome. And of course, having the defense that was the biggest online tournament so far in Dota 2, Own3D is taking a good grip of it. Having Dandy, he's also on Own3D. I think he has the most viewers. So I think it's going to keep going. And as you said, with the CPM and the fill rates, I think it was a hard struck during the summer and the fall for a lot of the streamers, because I think the CPM and the fill rates went down. But I think
Actually, in full, fill rates are the highest in January, and the first 3 months they are normally the lowest. But I think both companies struggled at the beginning just because of the sheer growth.
Yeah.
And as Newman mentioned, you know, the ad fill rates will get split among how many partners actually are able to receive ads. But of course, with CBS coming into it for Twitch TV, you know, that's really good for them. But you know, it will just be interesting because it is important esport news to keep an eye on both companies, and it is good that they both exist because they give, you know, they strive to compete with each other. Yeah. So competition is good. So that you know, you should definitely keep an eye on them, because out of all the companies in esports right now, these two are probably some of the biggest backbones that there are in esports in terms of actually generating money for players, supporting tournaments, allowing, you know, the bigger they get, the more people that can potentially watch esports and come in, they are really important. So it will be interesting to see, you know, a Team Solo Mid, it is a very important move. It's, you know, a very big move. It's one of the biggest ones that has happened between the two teams, even though they've student companies. But it will be interesting to see how both handle this year. You know, I think Twitch TV, obviously, I work for Twitch TV, but like, yeah, you know, there's no real problem there. But it would be a shame if Own3D went to stay around to compete.
Yeah. I don't think they'll disappear.
Okay.
I know Tosspot just joined them. As a, I don't know, it's
really?
a similar role as you got probably, but
Yeah, that was interesting from Tosspot, because actually Tosspot worked. Tosspot, for people who don't know him, used to own.
Streamworks.
Yeah, Streamworks, and he used to actually. Streamworks used to deliver the stream for MLG.
Yeah, that was Streamworks.
So that was Streamworks. from Tosspot used to deliver the stream for MLG, and Streamworks was a company that Tosspot worked for that had Russian investment. And they were based. He was based in London, and Tosspot is actually a very old school esport personality. Did a lot of commentary back before I did commentary. You know, I was just happy playing games then. And he also owned the website Crossfire.
Yep.
.nu, which was primarily focused on Team Fortress.
No, enemy territory.
Enemy territory. Oh God, he's going to kill me. But that's that again is interesting to see how that works out, and hopefully Tosspot, with all his experience, gives them obviously a healthier future. I'm sure he will. 'Cause he's a great guy.
Been into so much projects, and didn't he work for Octoshape also before?
I don't remember. It's almost almost like a miniature version of Scott Valencia.
But that's
that was cool. You don't like him?
Yeah, I do like him.
Okay.
But I mean, he's I don't know. He's been around.
Yeah, he's been around a lot, but I think always that he has done good things. I think he has a good track record overall, at least. So he's a really nice guy and good for own 3D then.
Yeah.
I would say. But for me, I just look at it. I think it's good that we have two strong companies that are competing, hopefully healthy. I was a little bit worried for one period that they were maybe going too thin with money just to kill the opposite company, but it seems to be healthy at the moment. And like James said, that I think actually that these two companies are the ones, like you said, the backbone of the industry. And you should remember, like 2007, when esports went downhill with the financial crisis, we didn't have the stream in the way that we have now. So we have a new leg, but it's a strong leg, and both of them are investing tons of money into players, teams, and organizations. So
yeah, I mean they're driving the growth of esports at the moment. I'm only a bit worried about own 3D, because I've been hearing that they've been having problems paying out actual money.
All right.
Revenue. So they might have caught up, but
of course, if the players ain't getting paid, it would go really fast for them to change.
If there's a problem with Own3D paying out their prize money, and that can only be a rumor, we can only presume.
It was the prize money. It was not
not prize money. Sorry,
revenue.
The ad revenue is because of laws for paying out that money via streaming from an Austrian and German registered company, which is something that Twitch doesn't have. So, we don't know if that's necessarily true. But also, the League of Legends community didn't respond overly well to them switching over, because they're very own 3D focused. So TSM apparently according to chat, Darius was actually getting 41,000 peak on own 3D. Right now he's like anywhere between 10, somewhere around 10 right now. So we'll see, if Twitch TV can basically keep the League of Legends community happy and keep TSM happy. So that's interesting to see, because it is important to the industry. So, and of course, Tosspot joining Own3D, that's great. Well done, Tosspot, but let's face it, he's no too good. So moving on to the news everyone's been waiting for. It is, of course, World of Tanks. Yes, that's right, World of Tanks. Holy shit, it's brilliant. I never played it.
Have you guys tried it?
No, I have not, but I heard actually quite a lot of good reviews. Like, people like it, but it takes too long time. Maybe it's not so fit for esports. But waiting for Dota 2, I actually watched some part of it, and I thought it was kind of fun, actually. I didn't get it, everything, because I would think
How
it was
can
a
you
Russian.
not get it? They're in fucking tanks.
Yeah, but where was the skill and what did they do good? I understand they were like, someone was winning, of course.
How do they play? Do they play like 5-on-5 or 1-on-1, or I mean, is there like 5 people in one tank?
You have one tank.
You have one tank each. You actually play one tank each, and you're a team. And basically, you look to kill other tanks.
And someone's like reloading, pushing a button every like minute.
Don't really know.
No idea.
But apparently, you have to play with a helmet on. That's the rules in the tournament. So basically, World of Tanks, the news is it was featured on Star Ladder TV. It's a Russian game. They're also releasing World of Planes. You'll be excited about that one, won't you? And also there will be World of Ships as well in the future, because I met World of Tanks basically at Gamescom, and I pretended I worked for own3d.tv, which is probably illegal, so I could get into their after party, and I showed them the own3d.tv stream and said, look, there's World of Tanks on here. Hey, oh, by the way, are you doing that after party later with Swedish House Mafia? Can I come? And then I actually was like, oh, we're out of tickets, you can't come. But I got his business card, right? And I was like, fuck yeah, I'm getting into this. So I queued up to go to the after party for the World of Tanks to see Swedish House Mafia. And I queued up, right? And basically, it was a massive queue. I couldn't get in. I was in the normal line, and I was like, fuck this. I'm going to VIP. So what I did, yeah, I went over to the VIP, right, with the business card of the guy, and I knew the general manager's name as well. So what I did, as I got near the door...
or you did the classical one with the cell phone?
I got on the cell phone and said, mate, I'm in the fucking VIP, and... I don't have a thing, I can't get in. Get fucking Matthew down here. Get fucking Matthew, there's a fucking problem. And the bouncer was like, no problem, and let me in. I was like, in your face,
that's
Russian
amazing.
Bouncers.
I
just
know
outsmarted you. Because Matthew's
a...
the general manager or something. I got his name. I just like winged it all. So I got in, yeah, so that was brilliant. And there's loads of hot girls around me that didn't even get in through the VIP. I was like, see you later, ladies. And in the VIP area, there was like beds and stuff and lots of alcohol. It was awesome. So that's not the World of Tanks news, but it's just a story about World of Tanks. And they have lots of money, and they hired Swedish House Mafia. And I broke into their VIP party at Gamescom. But also to mention that they had in Starladder TV a 20,000 viewers on stream, which is a lot.
They also had they did the EPS finals this weekend, I think.
Yeah.
And I think World of Tanks got more viewers in the actual audience at the location than CS 1.6 or Starcraft. They're rolling again.
No, but anyway, I think that everybody that was at Gamescom got in love with the World of Tanks. So many were coming home and talking about this World of Tanks. So I'm just glad that the game is out and it has some competition. It's doing good. The only impression, like I said, is that it's a little bit too slow. But I can't tell. I was Starladder on Russian, so I didn't get it.
Need to try it out, basically.
Yeah, of course. But if it's too slow, I think like my impression is that Dota 2 is way too slow or any MOBA is way too slow for esports. It's in the entertainment perspective, it's kind of bad. I would say to some extent, Starcraft 2 is the same. So for me, like it should be a Quake-ish kind of game where you have a time frame, a short one, intensive, a lot of entertainment and excitement.
Yeah, especially when we're like relying a lot more on ad revenue right now for streams and stuff. We need basically 10-15 minute sections of
well, either way, World of Tanks is very big in Russia, and it makes lots of money. It's apparently, according to someone in chat, bigger than Dota, which I believe, absolutely.
It's microtransactions. You buy a new, I don't know, flag and a new tank and a new
I don't know.
ammo.
But apparently, if you play Russian tanks, they're stronger than everyone else's tanks because the Russian publisher made it, even though in World War II they were pretty shit.
Based on reality. Russian?
Russian logic. And also, just to mention, it's getting quite popular in Germany, World of Tanks. Apparently, according to Newman, at the EPS finals, where Mouse Sports won for the 9th consecutive win in Counter-Strike, I do believe, World of Tanks was featured, and it got more viewers than Counter-Strike. Hellspawn, tell him how to do his job. Basically, just... I don't really know. This isn't really a news segment. We just thought we'd put it in for a troll. But basically... keep an eye out for World of Tanks. It's going to be big.
It was originally supposed to be part of like the news of the week, World of Tanks, and then we kind of just trolled it.
Yeah, I don't know.
What?
Whatever. Okay, so basically, in other news, before we go on to our final segment, which will be Semmler telling you what you want to watch next week. In other news, Apollo here at the Good Studio bought a new bed this week from IKEA. He spent €900. And obviously, commentators are making too much money, according to Cloud. That's a pretty big bed. That's also, you'd have to do some research to understand why that would be remotely funny, and then hopefully explain it to me, because I don't think it's that funny. But well done, Apollo. He's got a bed. He can sleep in it with his girlfriend. Commentators living the high life. It's not 3 million. Don't know why I put that in the news, really. And then
asking the same question.
I just thought I'd throw it in. I just want to keep people updated on Apollo and his bed situation. He had a bed before, but it wasn't his. That's the important thing. Sleeping in another man's bed. Apollo.
Bad, and doing nothing.
So you can all message Apollo on Twitter, DApolloLeet, and say congratulations on your new bed. That would be wonderful. He's not watching the stream, so that will freak him the fuck out, which will make my evening all the more fun, which is what it's all about. Okay, so we've done the news. We've rounded up everything in Quake, Dota 2, had a little bit of BLC, Starcraft 2, League of Legends, and World of Tanks. And we missed some news on Quake, which is really big, but that's not big because that's what's happening next week in Semmler's segment, right?
No, you missed one. There's a big pack release.
Big pack release in Quake. Yeah. Brilliant. Go play Quake at quakelive.com. Big pack
free.
release.
All the premium content is free till May 6th.
And all the premium content is free until May 6th, so you can do that. And of course, you know, well done, Trans, well done. Also in Quake news, we need to upload the config from this PC.
We'll do it today.
And Trans is going to be on that.
How hard can it be?
The show's gone downhill.
It's a fucking problem that's been around for like 2 years.
Hey, we don't put you on the show to criticize us, that is. You can
ESL,
criticize other people, but don't criticize us. This show was...
It's a text file with like 1 KB. What?
Lazy.
We're busy, man. We're busy.
Right. Yeah. Just want to point out...
The lazy studio.
James, how many shows have you
10
started with doing the Quake Live CFG to try to, like, you know, broadcast the game? I mean, there must have been 20 times now?
No, because you know what, right?
It's always like, Joe Miller put in the wrong CFG, or it was Trans, or it was someone else.
Joe Miller did all the configs when we were at ESL, and when I went to events, Trans did all the configs. When I played professionally, Quake 3, Storm did my config.
The Swede?
No. The English guy.
Storm.
He's gone to Australia now. And basically, ironically, I did a show last week on how to do configs.
We
promised upload it, it never happened.
You meet the guy on the internet, and then say to him, tell me a CFG that is good.
I don't do anything myself.
Of course not.
Literally not. I pay a lot of women to do it for me. And Hellspawn when I'm feeling freaky. Right. Okay, so let's basically just fucking move on as quickly as possible because everything's gone downhill. Great discussions over the whole evening. Well done, Dignitas, Newman, and Dreamhack, Raka, Car, Swede, Hellspawn, Lord.
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 And people have already tweeted to Apollo on his new bed, which is brilliant. So what we're going to do, guys, what we're going to quickly do, we're going to go to a quick advertisement break because we're learning how to run ads and split up the show to give everybody a break. We think it's brilliant. So make sure you head over to facebook.com, by the way, ROG Nordic, and try and enter that competition. I won't bring it up on screen. Can't bring it up on stream. I will bring it up. Can't bring it up. There you go. There it is. Still the same as it was before. Go enter it now. Yeah, it's worth more on Apollo's bed. You could sell it and buy 2 Apollo's beds for that. And then, of course, that's only if you win. And of course, when we come back from the advertisement break, Semmler is going to get back involved with what you should watch next week. Because that's important.
It is.
It is important. So see you in a moment for the most important segment of the whole show.